Hey everyone, this is Willie Standiford, Secretary with the St. Francis County Libertarian Party, political advisor for Ethan Jones for State Rep in Missouri, District 116. And in this video, I am going to be conducting an interview with a fellow delegate for the Libertarian National Convention, Victoria Salvia, who is the founder and key member of the Atlanta Metro Freedom Meetup group. And she's going to basically provide me with some insights about what her group does, how they're engaging with the community, and we're going to have a discussion regarding government, limited government, governmental tyranny, and where we go from this election in November. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the video. So, we are here today with Victoria Salvia. She's the founder and key member of the Atlanta Metro Freedom Group. And in this video today, I'm just going to be asking her some questions about what her group does, what type of community engagement you guys are doing, and discuss some of the recent events that have gone down in American history. You know that we need a fresh perspective on. Um, so yeah, I guess what I'll do is I'll start by I'll get some background about the Atlanta Metro Freedom Meetup. Can you tell me a little bit about what the mission of your group is?
Hi. Well, thanks for having me on,
No
Billy.
problem.
Appreciate it. And so I started this group because this was a couple years back now. I went to a rally and there was a gentleman there he's a local media person here, and he was talking about starting freedom cells. And so also, I mean, this is somewhat of a known concept. And so he said, or starting freedom groups in your area, because based on how things are going, this was during the time of the lockdowns and mandates and all that kind of stuff that was going down uh, back in, let's see, May of 2021. And it looked like we, the people, would maybe have to protect ourselves even against the people of authority, even against, say, government officials, because of what was going down, and things were getting very tyrannical in our country. So, especially with this mandated jab that was going around that people were taking because of this quote unquote uh, um, scamdemic, I'll say.
A
So anyway,
pandemic.
yeah. So to get to the point, it looked like it would be a very a need to create local groups in one's neighborhood and with people, with one's neighbors, with one's friends, to create these freedom cells of or these freedom groups of maybe 7 or 8 people with various skills. And the idea was to get to know each other and to be able to share skills in the event that we might have to defend ourselves against the powers that be, because of this encroaching tyranny coming upon us. So I started this Atlanta Metro Freedom Meetup, and it was a group that we were meeting once a week. And as time went on, I realized that, people got busy. A lot of people weren't really showing up in person to the meetings. And maybe, once a week was kind of a lot. Everybody has busy lives and all that. So I turned it into more of a blog, a freedom blog. I do have a Facebook group, the Atlanta Metro Freedom Meetup Facebook group. If you'd like to join, please just send me a request.
I can put that in the description below as well.
Okay, that would be awesome. And also, I have an email version as well. So anyway, I I was sending, or we were meeting once a week, and then I saw that the numbers were kind of dwindling and all that because of busy lives, and it was getting to be winter time and all that. So I decided again to make it into a blog, and I started telling people of other freedom related events in the different freedom and truth groups here around the Atlanta and greater Atlanta area. And I said, well, next week there's this freedom group meeting and there's that freedom group meeting, or there's this event or that event, also having to do with health. And so even though I wasn't having my individual Atlanta Freedom Meetup or Atlanta Metro Freedom Meetup group, I was still sharing freedom related ideas and also sharing videos that had to do with freedom and educational videos on the foundational concepts that we need to be able to ensure our freedom, and then letting people know about events so that we could keep this community going forward. So there are different events going on in the Atlanta metro area that people can still go to, and we could still see each other. And so the overall purpose is to keep community going, to let people know where to go in the greater Atlanta metro area, and to also educate people about different ways that we, the people, can stay free, can be free, and how we can continue to educate others and how to be free and stay free and to protect ourselves and to be proactive against this encroaching tyranny that is upon us. So,
Exactly. No,
mhm,
I like what you said about being proactive on that because um I think I think like one of the biggest problems in at least in St. Francis County is that people just aren't participating in the local government. They're not going out like if they have an issue with something, they want to complain about it, but they don't want to write they don't want to write Congress a letter. They don't want to go out, vote. They don't want to knock on doors and tell people, "Hey, this is what we're trying to do. We're trying to like ballot access." I know that was a pretty big issue whenever we had talked at the convention. Um,
uh-huh.
like, if that's a big issue, people need to go out, knock on some doors, be like, "Hey, these are some issues. I got an issue with it. I'd like to change this within the government." And, you know, uh, I think we need more local and state participation, like overall, and aside from that, though, I agree, the government is becoming more and more tyrannical. Like I would argue that even after COVID, it's gotten worse since then.
Mm.
Like much worse. Like I can't believe we're in the position we are now, to be
Yeah,
honest.
yeah, totally. It has. And I hear what you're saying about ballot access because that was a huge thing actually here in Georgia. And like I live in downtown Fulton County, Georgia, downtown Atlanta. And there was that whole it was known nationwide that there was that whole issue about like ballots coming out from under but from behind or underneath the tables once the polls had closed in Fulton County, Georgia, during the presidential election in 2020. I mean, it was a big thing. So a lot of people are concerned about ballot access here in Fulton County, Atlanta, Georgia. And yes, I do agree that as we are in this place right now with the current setup of government and the elections and all that kind of stuff, I do think that we do need to be cognizant about that. Yes, and we need to watch about the fraud going on without access. However, I think in my opinion, the end game though is just to basically have no leaders, or excuse me, not lead. Sorry, scratch that. We need to have leaders, yet no rulers. Basically, and that government actually, especially the way it is right now, should be completely abolished. Yet I know that might take a while to
Yeah.
come to fruition. I'm an anarchist. And again, as I've said before, anarchy does not mean chaos. That's like, again, a way that we, the people, have been brainwashed into thinking, oh, anarchy equals chaos. No, it doesn't necessarily mean chaos. If you break down the word, it means
Mutual.
no rulers, no masters. If we were, and just most people, they're not accustomed to basically having no rulers, no masters. Unfortunately, a lot of people are in the slave mindset, and that's another conversation or a larger conversation. So I'm thinking baby steps. I think at this point, people, I don't think are ready to be able to self-govern themselves. So we do at this moment, yeah, we need to, get some of the, like, we need to say, um, to gear or steer the people who are going to go in the office with the best people we can at this time. Down the road, yes, we should just abolish the whole government situation altogether. Yeah. So yes, at this time we need to do something about this fraudulent ballot counting and all that kind of stuff. Because it is ridiculous. The election was stolen in 2020. I mean, come on, that was crazy. And a solution would be to use blockchain technology for voting. Yet a lot of people don't really understand blockchain technology. They don't get it. They don't understand it. And so we're still doing somewhat archaic methodologies for elections. So I
Okay.
know, again, baby steps, baby steps. So to go back to uh what we could do in the communities, I think it's about educating people, and it's about educating people as far as their mindsets and as far as them being able to see how government and the way that government is set up. It is slavery. It is the governments do take away the citizens' natural rights. People have rights, and the government takes away those rights, and people don't even realize how their rights are being taken away. um it's a couple, one person that talks a lot about this is Larkin Rose, and about how a lot of people, they want to they want to, like, ask nicely, oh, please, government, please just don't take away too much of our rights, please take away or please just be nice as far as how much you're taking away our rights. But we need to get to the mindset that we realize that just if government is infringing upon um what we do as a free sentient being by basically, again, I'm going around in circles a little bit, but I will start is defining a right. A right is an action that does not initiate harm against a sentient being. So anything that you do that is an action that does not initiate harm against another sentient being, that is within your right. Okay? So if
Yeah.
government says you can't do that because we tell you you can't do that, they are basically treating you as a slave. So that's a
Government
general.
com that's there's a I can't remember what type of law that is, but it's a legal theory that that type of law is simply the government giving you a command. That there's no
Correct.
moral basis in it. There's no goal to it. It's just the government telling you what to do, maybe for revenue, but at the end of the day, they're telling you what to do. Uh, and that shouldn't it shouldn't be like that because really everyone studies the Constitution, but we need to go back to the Declaration of Independence, is whenever there's a long train of abuses and usurpations, it's the right of the people to not only change the government, but to abolish it and form a new government to safeguard their freedom. And if we were to abolish this government, hypothetically speaking, but if we were to abolish this government and establish a new government, I would say we need a very limited government, decentralized government. We don't need something big and centralized like the federal government is, because I think my buddy Ethan, he's running for District 116 state rep here in Missouri. We were having a good conversation about this, um, and yeah, just I don't know. It doesn't none of it really makes sense anymore. Like everybody knows that their rights are being infringed on a daily basis. We all know it's going on. It's like everyone's playing this facade almost that everything's okay and we just need to go continue living our life the way it is. But in reality, our founding fathers had established this country on a lot less abuses than what we're dealing with today.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we're all absorbed in, in our social media and our technology. Everyone's distracted. We need to wake people up, I think. I
Yes. I agree. Totally. Yeah. And I think that a lot of people, they don't, they're so just beaten down and they're so just brainwashed and mind controlled that I think just a lot of people are also just exhausted and they're just like, oh, what can we do? And I know it's a cop out, it's a bit of an excuse as well. They don't realize, they don't really see the possibilities, they don't see the potential of how amazing life can be. It's like they're, um it's it just reminds me of, like an elephant in a circus. Like when the elephants when the elephants are little babies in a circus, they are tied up with chains and everything to this pole, and that they keep trying to get loose. They keep trying to get loose, and they keep they keep fighting and fighting and fighting, and they want to get loose, and they can't, and they can't, and they can't, and they might do this for days, weeks, months, forever, and then finally one day they just fold. They just say, you know what, I'm never going to get loose. I just can't. And then this firm belief, this firm belief is instilled in their head for the rest of their lives. So then when they become, you know, big, huge, ginormous elephants that can do anything they want, um, all the circus keeper, circus master has to do is just put that little, dinky little stake in just even dirt, and with the chain on the elephant's leg, and then the elephant already automatically thinks the elephant just can't be set free, can't get himself free. He can't do anything. Oh well, what's the use? He can't do anything
doesn't
because he
even
has
try.
that belief so ingrained in his mind, so ingrained in his head. And that's what I think most people are like. From the time that they're little kids, they have all these false beliefs ingrained in their heads. And they just, and there's just a ton of energy that's just fed into those beliefs. And every time they turn on the TV, every time, listen to this, to the mainstream media, even regular movies, and even just TV shows, it's all programming. Their beliefs are just reinforced. So then they just aren't able to um let go of those beliefs. And so I think that that's also another reason why people are so docile, and then they're scared, like, oh, they're afraid. And again, it's this little, I think well, I think they're actually really terrified, is they're terrified of their own power. It's too scary to think how powerful they truly are. They're like people are the elephants. They don't even realize that they're these grown up, amazing, majestic elephants that they could just go boom, and they could tell the government, no, you're not ruling me. No, World Economic Forum, you're not going to tell me to eat bugs. No, you're not going to tell me to take that little jibby jab. No, you're not going to tell me to pay taxes all the time. But yet they still have the mindset of the little elephant who couldn't get free. That's mainly why most people remain slaves. Just saying.
Well, that's brilliant. No, I agree. Yeah, like we're just stuck in this slave system, and we've all kind of voluntarily participated in it in one way or another, you know.
Voluntarily, because we don't see the possibilities of the amazing life that we can have. We
We
just don't
just
even try.
we just need to
Well,
do
I
it,
do. I
like
do.
just but like people just need to go out, come together, and and do the things that they're say the things that they're thinking on their mind, and do the things that they want to do, because I think they let the government get into their head. They let the government tell them what they should be doing, what they shouldn't be doing, or how they should be living their life. And the government should not be any part of my life. In my opinion, like I should be able to live my life, and the government is something that I'm participating in because I want I want a better society. You know, I want to work towards building uh, a peaceful society that I can envision. But like I guess ironically, the only way that we can do that is to dismantle the government and decentralize it. You know, that's why I want Donald Trump to be elected again, is because if he can get rid of one or two alphabet agencies, that's a good start. You know,
Yeah.
we've got to start getting rid of those agencies. If we get rid of the bureaucracy that is really running the U.S. government, then maybe we could get back to the original form of government that's intended to govern that way. But because we have three branches of government, but the executive branch has gotten so big with all these agencies that it's quite ridiculous at this point. Like, who's actually in charge? Like,
Yeah. Well, that's true too. I hear what you're saying. That makes sense. And I think, well, because a lot of people still have to come out of this mind control and they still have to realize their potential and their majestic power and all that. Trump is he's a good leader for a lot of people, yet he's not like he's not he's just a goal. He's just, how can you say it, he's just a notch on the road to true freedom, like he's just on the way to true freedom. And I think that he is a businessman, he's a true businessman, and we could use a true businessman for this country. um I and I know that a lot of people still depend on them, yet he's like, I don't see him as the ultimate answer. I see it as we, the people, being educated about what true freedom really is. And that comes from the concepts of natural law and objective morality. And that's going back to, again, defining what is right and what is wrong. Because if you don't know what a right and what a wrong is, then you how do you know how to defend your rights? And so again, just basically given the premise that a right is, it's an action that does not initiate harm against another sentient being. What truly is a right of mankind, of all of mankind, and of sentient beings, is basically um you are allowed to do whatever whatever you want to do, as long as it doesn't harm anyone. So um so when government tries to tell you that you need to say that you're not allowed to say take a natural substance, um such as say a natural ethnogen that's grown in the ground, or you're going to be thrown into a box, like basically say you want to partake in the smoking of cannabis. I know that that's being legalized in a lot of places, but that shouldn't even, that like you we shouldn't even have to ask permission for that.
it's a
Okay.
natural substance.
It's
Like,
or and even if I wanted to take a substance that wasn't natural, it's my prerogative. I want to be able to do, I am allowed to do whatever I want with my body, as long as I don't go and harm another sentient being. And so again, it's the same thing with these governments saying that, oh, like little kids, they need to take certain they need to take certain jabs of substances, if you know what I'm saying.
yeah.
They take certain jabs of substances, you know, into their veins, or they're not allowed to attend school. What is that? All that stuff. The kid, or the kid's parents, if they want to take a substance that's injected into their veins, that should be a choice, not something that they must do. Government does not have the right to tell them that they can do that or not do that. And so, since most people don't understand what their rights truly are, they therefore beg, basically, the people in authority, oh, can we please just not have that, that law that our kid has to take these substances. Basically, the government has no right to even tell them to do it in the first place. So this is where I think that the public needs to be educated. um and when I talk about what is this concept of natural law? It's the laws of the universe, and a lot of people don't understand what natural law really is. And I don't know if we have time to go into that right now. So these are things that what the public needs to understand. One of the main, I could say one of the main law, or like what one of the main principles of natural law is basically the principle of cause and effect. So that's like something that most people see as karma. So anyway, um, if you do something to harm, if you harm somebody, it's going to come back to you in one way or another. And as an aggregate, as society as a whole, if we sit there and harm other sentient beings as a whole, it's gonna come back to us as a whole. And this even includes, war or anything like that, which, by the way, war is something that is made up by man. So I know I might be going off subject a little bit, or off topic a little bit. I'm just trying to say that um overall, um people need to be able to understand to not violate others' rights. and and that is basically it is a violation against natural law to harm other people, um either through, there's many different ways that we could harm other sentient beings. And the more that we as beings harm other beings, or the more, and even government, the more that government even harms other beings through violating their natural rights, the more that a, a society as a whole will be enslaved. So it's basically, the rule is, the more moral a society becomes in aggregate, the more free a society will be. The more immoral a society becomes, the more enslaved a society will be. And again, I don't know how much time we have to go further into those concepts, but
Oh,
this is basically the concept of freedom and objective morality.
we got about 4 minutes left, actually.
Okay.
I know that flew by quick so far. I mean,
But we could
um,
do a follow up.
yeah, we could do a follow-up video. Yeah. Um, no, I think I'm honestly pretty nervous about this election coming up, because I don't know how people are gonna react to things. I don't know what's gonna happen. Uh, I just, I'm hoping everything goes back on track, away from the whole tyranny thing. Um, that might be a pipe dream at this point, but hopefully things will turn around and get better. You know, I I don't want to have to defend my homeland. I don't want to have to die myself. You know, I
Right.
I I'm not about violence. I'm not about killing or nothing like that. All I'm about is defending myself and my family. So if that's my main concern, I think, with the election is it gonna
Mhm.
be safe? Like, what's gonna happen? Are people gonna freak out or riot? I don't know.
Well, yeah, I mean, see, that's also the thing. It's like the people way at the top of the pyramid of control, power and control. You could call them the social engineers. You could call them even the priest class, or the dark occultists. People call them the elites, but they're pretty disgusting.
Luciferians, or they go by many
Yeah,
names.
yes, yeah, Lucifer. So all that, they want as much. They want, like, trouble and chaos, if you will, in the streets and all that, because then they could come down. They want immoral acts. They want people killing people and all that kind of stuff, because then they could say, "Oh, look, we need to come and control you." So that's where, this
The external
natural law
savior.
concept comes in. Um, I mean, if you look at some of the mainstream media news, which is like, 94% owned by these social engineers at top, they were actually encouraging rioting. They were saying, "Oh, we don't understand why there isn't more rioting." Like, they want rioting. That's why Antifa, which is it's like hired thugs to go out there and cause and rile up people. That's why they're like run by these social engineers to create a chaos. So then more tyranny and control can come down. So it's what anyway, it's a lot of times a lot of things that you think on the surface level is what's going on. It's really the inversion of it, the real truth, which is again probably another conversation.
Oh, absolutely.
So
Well, I think we got just about a minute left, so I'd
okay.
go ahead and wrap this up here. Um, but I appreciate your time today, Victoria, and um, I know we probably didn't cover everything that we even had down on our template to cover, but I guess that's a good thing because we could always do another video and do a continuation of this or go off on another topic. But I
Yes,
think I'm
well,
kind of getting a feel for doing this though a little bit.
yeah, well, thanks so much, Billy. I appreciate you having me on and I appreciate the discussion and your time as well and this opportunity to get the word out to people. So,
Absolutely.
thanks for listening, everybody.
If you guys enjoyed this video, if you guys enjoyed this interview and discussion with Victoria, be sure to smash the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see more political commentary and videos just like this. I do plan on interviewing more members of the community and key members of the community in the coming weeks, so be on the lookout for that. Again, thank you guys for stopping by. I appreciate all the support I've received so far, and moving forward, I look forward to uh, conducting more interviews just like this. This was a lot of fun, and I love having these types of discussions. So, thank you guys again. Take care and stay safe.